Good evening, wonderful people, great Biafrans, wherever you are on the face of this very planet. Once again, we welcome you to our live presentation on this very day, Sunday, the 11th day of October, in the year of our Most High Elohim, Chukukika Biama Prumihanine 2020. The time now is exactly a minute past 7 p.m. in the blessed land of Biafra. The same number of minutes past the top of the hour, regardless of where you are, where you're domiciled, where you're listening to us from. I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night to some of you, because we are the largest broadcaster out of Africa, and for that very singular reason, this very broadcast is going out to the entirety of humanity. Mankind is listening. The whole world is listening. And this evening, as always, we'll bring you the unadulterated truth regarding the restoration of the kingdom of heaven upon the face of this very earth. We are, of course, whiter than white and whiter than snow. We speak the truth always, regardless of the consequences. And as I welcome you this evening, I will encourage you to welcome other people as well, those who are around you, friends, family. Tell them they can join this very unique program via our app, IPOB Community Radio app. It is on Android and also on iOS, which is Apple. You can also listen to us via Radio Biafra app. We are on FM. People are listening to us or listening to my voice live this evening in Lagos, in Kanu, in Abuja, and the rest of Biafra land as well. We are also on TuneIn. You can listen to us via Simple Radio. You can listen to us via Sweet Radio. There is also Radio Garden. However, you have chosen to listen to us, albeit satellite as well, because we are on satellite, I wholeheartedly welcome each and every one of you. This is a live presentation and the whole world is listening. As always, I am your regular host this very evening, morning, afternoon, or night, depending on where you are. But today is Sunday, which means that we are live and we are direct, and heaven is bearing us witness. My name is Nnamdi Kanu. I am the leader of the largest mass movement on the face of this very earth, the indigenous people of Biafra. I am the director of Radio Biafra and Biafra Television, but above all and most significantly, by the special grace of the Most High Elohim, Chukukika Biama Prumihenine, servant of the wonderful people of Biafra. I welcome you on a momentous day, considering what has been going on with the entire campaign to end SARS, which they have been ending now for the past 4 years. So there is nothing new there. I welcome you, and of course this evening, I don't know if we may be in a unique position to take some of your calls. We want to know what is happening across the areas where people actually thronged out to protest against the brutality, the savagery, the very primitive way that the Fulani Janjaweed have been running the zoological police. We must pray before we proceed this evening, as it has become customary for us to do on this very platform. A very simple prayer. I'm going to pray a prayer of King David, as I pray every blessed day of my life. Please bow down your heads as we pray, because we are nothing without the Most High Chukukika Biama Prumihenine. We are not just a religious people. We are a people that worship God Almighty by the name that we give to our children. Nobody preaches God to us. Nobody brought God to us. We knew God before other civilizations came up. We knew who God was before anything else happened on this very earth. After all, we are the oldest of the oldest, the ancient of the ancients, the land where consciousness, reason, and logic began, the blessed land of Biafra. And we must pray. Chineke na nke pụrụ ime ihe niile onye kere eluigwe maka elu ụwa. onye ọbụnani ya ka ike niile nọ n'ọbara aka ya, onye anyị na-efe wee na-akpụ isi ala anyị n'ihi na anyị anaghị efe arụsị. Anaghị m efe arụsị. We don't worship idol on this very platform. That is why anything we touch turns into gold. We only worship the one almighty God in heaven that everything that is created on this very earth bows towards. The God of all the hosts of heavens and this very earth, we come before thee this evening as we always do, to offer before thee our ceaseless praise, adoration and adulation of your holy name, to say there is no other God apart from thee, to say there is no other idol, no other entity, be it human or statuesque, that is worthy of praise, only thee. That is why we humbly submit all that we are unto thee, and to give thee thanks and ceaseless praise for what you have continued to do with this very noble family that you created, this very IPOB. We are asking you to make haste, because people are dying, your children are being slaughtered every day by forces of darkness, supported by those who would like to see the enslavement of the children of the Most High in perpetuity. We ask thee to make haste to deliver us, to come very quickly to help us, because only you are worthy to be praised. Put all our enemies to shame and confound them. Those of them that say that Biafra will not come and chase them backwards and put them in confusion. Those of them that when we came out to protest, desired our hurt and prayed that we should be shot dead, those people today, they have come out themselves to protest. Which goes to show, oh Heavenly Father, that you always set the pace with your children, because remember those that said that you don't accomplish anything via protest when we protested ceaselessly. Today, those same people are coming out to protest. They learn from us, because you have appointed us to lead, that others may follow. This very day we give your name praise. We adore thee for all that you have continued to do with our lives. Turn them back in their shame, all of them who would dare to rise up, to laugh and to smirk at your children. Let all of them, all of us that seek your face, all of us who rejoice in your holiness, all of us that search, that love thy salvation. That is why every blessed day we say, let your name be magnified. Let your name, O Heavenly Father, be magnified. Let your name be exalted above every other name, because you created everything else that has been made. Remember that we have nothing, we are poor. We have no sponsors, we have nobody who comes to ask how we are doing, only thee, O Heavenly Father, for we are poor and very needy. You will make haste to deliver the land of Biafra, because you are God and there is nothing like thee. Only you are the helper. Only you are the deliverer. Only you is the Alpha and the Omega. Only thee, O Heavenly Father, is all that we place our hope upon. Please do not delay. Come and give us Biafra in our time, that your name may be glorified, adored, worshipped, exalted, and praised, now and forevermore, we pray. We are moving very, very hastily this very evening. I am going to lay a very simple foundation, as it has become normal for us to do on this very platform. I am going to go to what a preacher said. I am going to play what this preacher said, and I want people to listen and listen very attentively. If you don't have your pen and paper with you, you are doing yourself a monumental disservice. You are not going to learn anything. Get a pen and a piece of paper, because this very gospel that we preach on this platform every blessed day is beginning to resonate. It is beginning to bear fruit, even in unexpected quarters where we do not expect people to react now. They know, they understand. They have come to the fullness of the appreciation of the very fact that this platform, this noble radio, Biafra, is the finest university on the face of this very earth, bar none. This evening I will prove it. Not only will I prove it to the whole world, I will also establish the parameters upon which all our discussions, our analysis, and our deliberations will be based upon this very evening. I urge you to listen, please, and to listen very attentively, because we are training people. We train even their pastors and their priests. They now speak like us, now they talk like us. That is to tell you the invaluable work that this very platform is doing, and then to drive home the very critical point that those of them who before said that we shouldn't come on air every blessed day, why have we been preaching, why have we been talking? We have been vindicated, because everything we say here is the truth and nothing but the truth. People go back and they copy all that we have done in the past. Everything that IPOB has done is what everybody is seeking to copy. Of course, they do not give us credit. We don't expect it. We are not expecting them to be magnanimous enough to give us credit for everything they are doing, including this very campaign that we are now witnessing in our time to end SARS. They learned from us. We taught them how to protest ceaselessly and consistently. The same people that previously said that protest cannot yield anything today, they're out on the streets and they're protesting. They now understand what we have learned long time ago, that the only way to prevail against tyranny, the only way to rise above the shenanigans of a dictatorship, is to remain resolute and consistent and not yield an inch. In the fullness of time, we may come to know if their protest was all in vain or if they managed to accomplish anything at all. But we are not taking away the very significant influence of the foreign missions that rose to speak against police brutality in the Zoological Republic. All those things that we have been complaining about, each and every aspect and element of the zoo, of the governance of the zoo, is now in the open. Every day we are being vindicated. Every day the whole world is beginning to, of course, to appreciate that we are right, or while we have been right all along. Please listen to this, and listen very, very attentively and very, very carefully. Because if you don't learn anything on this Radio Biafra platform, I swear it, you will learn nothing in your life. Listen to those who have listened to us and what they are saying. They now sound like us. And this man is a preacher. Now listen to him, please.
Have so much gold.
Listen.
They have so much gold that people come from all over.
Yes.
Buy gold. Now, listen. They bring gold and refine it in their land. Their land does not produce gold, but they bring gold and they refine it.
Listen.
And that is one of the reasons I talk to every African.
He's a pastor.
The whites, I make bold to say, and let the whole world hear me. The whites planned to enslave us forever.
What? Say that again.
It started from the time they came to colonize us. They spoiled our education system.
Listen carefully, please.
They killed our mentality from the beginning. It takes the wise to understand what I'm talking about, but I will still say it.
IPOB knew this and taught you what you're saying now. We have always known from day one.
They did not educate us to be educated. They educated us to remember. They did not educate us to think. That is why.
Are you following? The education system that you have is there for you only to remember. It is not geared towards allowing you to think. The only reason why today people are reasoning in Nigeria, in Biafra land especially, and in the wider Zoological Republic, is the advent of Radio Biafra. I want people to understand, because they are black people, their depth of reasoning is not sufficient to appreciate the enormity of the task that Radio Biafra has been able to establish or to accomplish in the lives of men of these days. Previously, you will not hear somebody preach this way. They spend time and they listen to us. They listen to the gospel that we preach, this gospel of redemption. They go back. They pour scorn on it initially. They reject it. They repudiate it. But upon a deeper reflection, when you sit down on your own and begin to tell yourself the truth, when you listen to this very gospel that we preach, eventually you begin to speak like us. That is what this preacher has done. When the white man came, when the British came, their intention was to enslave you forever and ever. Not to teach you anything. The Bible that they gave to you is so that you can be sending money to Canterbury and to Rome. Not because they want you to appreciate the full understanding or knowledge of the goodness of God Almighty in heaven. No. Because if they had wanted to, they would have been able to tell you the truth, that even Yahweh Yeshua was practicing Judaism. He was going to the temple and not to a church. That is something that people never ever appreciate. But in the fullness of time, now that we have remained consistent on preaching this very truth, they have now come to their senses. I'm playing you the clip of a pastor, a Christian pastor. At last, they are now teaching their congregation what we have been asking them to teach them for very many years. That you must reason. Forget your stupid, silly education. You must reason. The reason why I am establishing or using this as the foundational basis of our gospel this evening is to tell you how important it is for you to reason and to think like a human being. Africans right now do not reason like human beings. That is the truth. It doesn't matter how you color it. It doesn't matter how you spin it. The fact of the matter is that an average African does not reason properly. That is the truth of the matter. You may not like it, but when you go back, sit down upon quiet reflection in your room or in your abode, who knows, you may become like this pastor. Please listen very carefully. Listen. Let me start from the beginning.
Bangladesh have so much gold.
Listen.
They have so much gold that people come from all over.
Yes.
To buy gold.
Yes.
Now listen. They bring gold and refine it in their land. Their land does not produce gold, but they bring gold and they refine it.
Listen to this man.
That is one of the reasons I talk to every African. The whites, I make bold to say, and let the whole world hear me, the whites planned to enslave us forever.
Are you listening? This is a pastor preaching in a church. It
started from the time they came to colonize us.
And please post it on my page.
They spoiled our education system. They killed our mentality from the beginning.
Of course they did.
It takes the wise to understand what I'm talking about, but I will still say it.
It takes the wise to understand. If you are not intelligent, if you are not naturally intelligent, you will not understand the damage that colonialism did to you. If you're not intelligent, you will not understand the grand plan of the neo-colonialists that Donald Trump is fighting. It takes extraordinary intelligence for you to understand that those who do not have any crude oil in their land are exporting refined petrol to you. You with the crude oil, you cannot refine petrol. It takes an intelligent man to understand that in England there is no gold, but Buckingham Palace there is gold. In England there is no diamond, but the biggest diamond in the world is sitting on the crown of the ruling family of England and the United Kingdom. It takes extraordinary intelligence. You don't produce diamond. But they have the biggest diamond in the world, gotten from South Africa. It's on the crown of Queen Elizabeth II. They don't have any gold, but if you go to Windsor Palace, if you go to Buckingham Palace, everywhere is laced with gold. People that actually produce the gold in Africa, they have nothing. It takes people who are wise to understand what we are preaching. This is what we have been preaching on this platform, and now this very, can I call him man of God? I don't know his name. He is now saying what we have been saying for years. But listen to him, because this is not Radio Biafra gospel. This is a gospel being preached in a church. Chris Oyakilome before started this very trend. They now listen to Radio Biafra. They understand that what we are saying is correct. They go back, they analyze it, they chew it over, and they come out and they say, of course they are correct. People are now boldly speaking the truth. Listen to this man preach this very gospel of common sense, I call it. Black people don't have common sense. That is the problem they have. And that is why we have continued to have on this very issue. They don't know how to reason. And that is their problem. And that was how colonialism was designed to enslave you forever and ever. If they don't get you with the education system, they get you with their religion. If they don't get you with their religion, they get you with their social habits. It was designed to make you a slave forever and ever. That was the reason why Obama said to keep Nigeria one is a tax that must be done. People have, 1 week have now elapsed, and I've been asking people, do you know what that means? For a United States president to say that to keep a zoo together is a tax that everybody wants. Do you see how they are manipulating your brain, trying to let you understand that you're an animal without actually saying it? Please listen very carefully.
We still say it.
Listen.
How did they do it?
How did they do it? The white man.
They did not educate us to be educated. They educated us to remember. They did not educate us to
Amazing.
think.
Amazing.
That is why we in Africa, no matter how educated you are, with our system of education, the only thing you are trained to do is to remember. You are not trained to think.
They don't train you to think. Are you listening? What I've been telling you? They say insult black people. Are you listening?
No matter your discipline,
it doesn't matter.
It is something targeted at our tomorrow. And we need to wake up and liberate ourselves.
That's what we are doing in IPOB.
And I will talk to Africa one of these days. And I will tell my people how we shall liberate ourselves from that. What do I mean? If I don't make it clear, you will not understand what I mean. What I mean is this. By the curriculum they gave to us, by the way they fashioned our education, this is what they did to us. They educated us the way we will remember the past. So we keep living in the past. If you are a lawyer in this place, the only thing you will learn is how to remember the laws that were made, how to remember them and quote them. So you are educated to remember the past. You are educated to remember things that happened. If you are a medical doctor in this house, you are not educated to invent. You are not educated to think and bring out new things. But you are educated to remember. There was a time somebody had this thing in America and they joined this one to this one. So your education is based on remembrance.
People are now screaming in the church.
They fixed us.
Gospel of heaven.
Trained us only to remember.
Yes.
They did not train us to think.
Are you following?
If you're a lawyer in this place, when you get to court, you quote the things that has happened before. And it is when you quote the things that have happened before that you can remember. We clap for you as a good and a powerful lawyer. Now it's no longer interesting because now they say write everything and send. So people no longer talk for us to hear. Those days when they talk for us to hear.
I hope if you are watching via Facebook, you know Facebook is part and parcel of the new satanic alliance. Their job is to suppress, just like the BBC before them. Their job is to suppress the truth. Anything that will make a black man from Africa to reason, Facebook doesn't want it. Anything that will make a black man to acquire some modicum of common sense, Facebook will not allow it. If you're kicked out of Facebook, which they're doing and doing right now as we speak, when I tell people they're suppressing what we're doing, they don't believe it. But I'm sure on Wednesday and now, in fact on Friday as well, people can now witness it. You can now see what I'm telling you. That is how evil they are. You people don't understand them, but we do. That is how evil they are. And do you know the funniest thing? They are using black African people to do these things to themselves. That is why I maintain always and without fail that there is something wrong with a black person. A black person is almost satanic. They are using them to do this very work. From 7.2 thousand, all of a sudden, we are now down to 4.5. That is the way they are. Go and download. I have said it before, that it is cheaper to listen via IPOB community radio than to listen via Facebook. The reason why we are coming on Facebook is to let them understand that they cannot intimidate us into submission. They cannot do it. Have you heard what the man is saying? This is a grand conspiracy that people don't know about. They make you feel good. I call it the Joe Biden factor, or the Democrat factor in America. People don't know that in the USA, I'm sorry to digress this very early, that it was black people who actually founded the Republican Party. Black people. It was the Republicans that ended slavery being practiced by Democrats. People will say, oh, but how about Obama? But they have forgotten that Obama's presidency is the very worst in the history of the USA. It was under the same Democrats and Clinton that they were claiming is a black man in white skin that they introduced race strikes and you're out. That Joe Biden supported. That put black people, millions of black people in jail in America. These are the things, these are the truths that the likes of Facebook don't want you to know. They need you in Africa to remain like a baboon. They need you not to reason, not to think, so that they can continue to manipulate you. And we are saying no to that garbage. All of a sudden, for the very first time since I've been broadcasting, they have pushed our numbers on Facebook to 2.8. It has never happened before. Never happened before. That's what they're doing. But we must preach the gospel of heaven. We are on YouTube as well. You can go to YouTube. You can simply download the app. It's very cheap. Simply just download the app. That is what they are doing. Because they are frightened of the truth. They are frightened. The Fulani Janjaweed are working with them to humiliate, to suppress, and to subdue their fellow blacks. That is how evil a black person is. And I say to people all over the world, black people are suffering because we are evil. We are suffering because we love wickedness, not against white people, but against our own. That is the way we are. And the truth must be preached. So that when somebody goes to my page, they will say, oh, but nnamdi is only 2.4k people who are watching. Do you see how evil they are? They think they can manipulate us. They think they are smart, but they are mistaken. The office is in Lagos. Time will tell. Listen to this very preacher, please. Listen. Listen.
You hear quote and unquote in 1972.
Listen.
In the High Court, seated at this, that. Remember, you are trained to remember.
You are trained to remember, not to think.
Trained to think.
You are not trained to think. African people, that is why we are poor and wretched. Jealousy. That's all they know.
You are trained to remember what happened in Jerusalem.
Even as a pastor,
what happened
you are trained to remember, not to
years
think.
Ago.
This is a pastor preaching
during the time of Christ, but you are not trained to think. Now, when there is any danger in the world, people people from all over the world who we are trained to think, we think on what to invent, what to produce, to hit what is happening.
Listen.
But our own is that ab initio. Our brain is to remember. So we will sit down and wait for others to invent.
Wait for white man to invent. That's how they trained you.
To remember.
Because you're trained to remember, you're not trained to think. You are waiting for a white man to invent something to cure every illness, to cure every ailment, to cure every sickness. You're waiting for them to produce a new aeroplane. Is it Boeing 777 Max or whatever it's called? You wait for Elon Musk to send you to the moon and to the Mars. You're waiting for Richard Branson so that you can orbit the planet every time. That is how we have been trained, our minds conditioned not to learn but to remember. That is what this preacher is preaching. In a house of God, he is preaching in a church. The same thing that we preach on this platform, or we have been preaching for very many years. They don't understand it. I don't know what is wrong with a black mind. The concern that I have from day one, I've been preaching this way from day one. The issues we are having is how a black man reasons. I've been saying it all the time, and thankfully now they are preaching it in their churches, because it is the truth. Now listen, please listen very carefully.
Did that make sense to anyone?
Of course, you're making sense.
That makes sense to you. Shout, God help us.
God help us that shouting.
Something for my generation. I have something to tell the world on our behalf. Somebody say, help us, Lord.
Help us, Lord.
This is a strategic agenda to keep us under. Why am I saying this?
Listen.
I told you that there is a lot of gold in Laodicea, but they do not produce gold. Ladies and gentlemen, Buckingham Palace in England, London.
Yes.
Buckingham Palace is built and designed with gold, but there is no gold in England. England do not produce gold, but Ghana produce gold. But in the house of the king of Kumasi, there is no gold designed there. But in England, Buckingham Palace, they took the gold from Ghana and they designed Buckingham Palace. But where we are, there is no gold.
There is no gold where we are. But in Buckingham Palace, there is gold. Black people. Now you understand it. That is just the fundamental basis of our gospel this evening. If you're listening on Facebook, they will continue to interrupt. Facebook in Lagos, these are zoo animals in Lagos working for Facebook. They have collected money. They are typical black people. When you see black people suffering, sometimes don't pity them. Just go and tell them the truth, that they may change. Black people are their own worst enemies, I'm telling you. The white man understands them very well and programmed them in such a way that they do not reason properly. They cannot reason properly. That is a fact of life. I am asking you to download IPOB Community Radio. Download it now. We are there live and direct and very clear. No distortion. Any distortion you're hearing on Facebook is artificial. They want to frustrate you. They have collected money from the zoo. We're exposing Yusuf Mohammed Abubakar. That is the name of Aisha Buhari's boyfriend. Even Boko Haram knows. They don't want it. They don't want this gospel that we are preaching. They don't want it. If Facebook can close my page, they will close it, but they cannot. They know what awaits them, or what is waiting for them, of course. You have listened to this very man. You are not trained to think. That is why things are the way they are in Africa. Because if Africans were trained to think, somebody somewhere should have asked himself a question. Why is it that the likes of Obama and neo-colonial, these Satanists and Luciferians, why are they interested in keeping Nigeria one? If you had any brain, you will ask yourself, why was it when the revolution now was going on against corruption, iniquity, and mediocrity in the zoo, the British High Commissioner did not tweet? Because you are coming to disrupt their business. You are coming to spoil where they have been eating from. You are coming to give people sense where they will prefer you to be without sense. They never wrote anything. There was no tweet flying out from embassies in Abuja or Lagos, no. But it is SARS, and they are saying something. Do you know why they said? Do you know why the British High Commissioner Katrina Lang tweeted about SARS? Because they know that the people are grieving. They know that people have a legitimate reason to go out on the street, and they know that this time around the End SARS campaign is not being led by IPOB Biafra that they hate so much. It's being led by other people, and they don't want it to become like Arab Spring. So she came out and she wrote something. You need to be intelligent to understand these people. You need to be intelligent. Black people are not intelligent. You need to be very smart, intellectually clued in for you to understand their game plan. Now, I played this last week and I'll play it again today. Considering what this preacher have said this evening, I want people to think again and to think again, because there are some idiots who don't know what is happening to Biafra. They have no idea what we are suffering every blessed day. They have no idea how far we have gone. They have no idea how much we have spent. They have no clue as to how tirelessly hard DOS is working every day. Every principal officer is working, our volunteers are working to ensure that Biafra comes. They have no clue. They are in their homes talking and yapping rubbish as usual. Some people may say, why is it that CNN doesn't show Biafra or what is happening? And I promised you they're going to do it before the end of this year. Believe you me, write it down, you will see it happen. I want to ask you a question this evening. What is Obama's business with Biafra? Why is it that Obama doesn't want Nigeria to divide? A former US president, he was making, because I'm saying this for people to understand. When you go to the State Department in America, all these are placements put in there by Obama. These are people who are agents of neo-colonialism. And you're telling them about what is happening in the zoo, that people are dying. They will turn a blind eye. They will pretend they don't know what is going on. I want to play it for you again this evening. I want people to reason tonight, to go back when you're lying down, to ponder and to reflect, to understand the enormity of your problems, to understand that you're like a caged animal in a zoo. Listen to Obama. Listen.
Keep Nigeria one, the task that must be done.
What?
Today I urge all Nigerians.
To keep Nigeria one is a task that must be done. Listen very carefully from Obama. These are the words of Gowon. These are the words of Yakubu Gowon, the war criminal. Listen again, please.
To keep Nigeria one, the task that must be done.
Yes.
Today I urge all Nigerians, from all religions, all ethnic groups,
yes,
regions, to come together and keep Nigeria.
And keep Nigeria one. Why must he use the word one Nigeria to keep Nigeria one? Because they are benefiting. Because the Fulanis are pushing money through corruption. Fulani is making sure that everybody is settled. They are sharing this money whilst you're wallowing in poverty. When you speak, they will use SARS to hold you down. When you speak, they use the army to hold you down. And I want to ask people who are sensible, people that have brain, if Biafra is not being discussed in America and the capitals of the world, why would Obama come out and say, basically giving a coded message, that to keep Nigeria one is a tax that everybody must do? Everybody. Because they are benefiting from it. If Nigeria is not under threat, will Obama say that to keep Nigeria one is a tax that must be done? This is called common sense, but unfortunately, some of us don't have common sense. Some of us do not understand what is going on. You don't. Before your eyes this evening, koro, as they will say in the zoo, before your two naked eyes, you can see it. Those of you watching on my page on Facebook, when we started this program, we were on 7.2 thousand people, 7.2K. From 30,000 before, we have now come to 7.2. From that 7.2, before this preacher could finish what he's saying, or before I could finish playing what this preacher was preaching about or talking about, we are now at 1.1. Before your eyes. It is not magic. You can see it. If what we are doing is not working, why are they talking about one Nigeria? Why are they panicking? This is the sort of question that people with common sense should be asking themselves every blessed day. That there is a deliberate, a well-orchestrated, planned, deliberate ploy to suppress Biafra. Mark Zuckerberg, that invented Facebook, hadn't been born. I'm not even sure that his father had been born in 1967. Tell me why he will carry that same hatred for Biafra from nowhere. Just tell me. And he's a Jew. He is a Jew. He knows what persecution is all about. But they got to him. Fulani got to him. They gave them money to suppress everything to do with Biafra. This is how they are spraying money all over the world like a confetti to stop what we are doing. But idiots cannot see it because they are blind. They are foolish. Every bastard comes out, name a video now talking rubbish. Every idiot. If Biafra is not inside the White House, why would Obama be talking about one Nigeria? Obama knew that Nigeria was under threat, that one Nigeria was collapsing. And who were the people in 2015 supplying the pressure? Is it not IPOB? I don't know how somebody or people that claim they went to school and yet they cannot reason. They can't think properly. That was why they brought out 650 million or thereabout, and every idiot is scrambling, calling Loretta Onochie the great harlot in Asorok for a share. So they can do their own video. Everybody, every idiot, every bagger, every baboon wants to do a video. You want to attract some change, chicken change from Asorok. Shame on all of you, and you will all go down. I promise you, you will all go down. Look at it if you had any brain in your skull. If you have any brain in your skull, ask yourself why Biafra have been protesting about brutality in the zoo. Brutality from the zoo police, brutality from the army. They were there. All these people today coming out and protesting, all of you were there because what is good for the geese is good for the gander. All of you were there when Buratai was sending his army. Operation Python Dance 1, Python Dance 2, Python Dance 3, Crocodile Smile. All of you were there as the idiotic animals in the zoo, Nigerians that you are. We were lamenting and complaining that these people are evil. Now it has affected everybody. You are coming out on the streets to protest. The same people that told us that protesting is not a good thing. Why are you coming to waste your lives and protest? But the same idiots are out on the streets protesting to end SARS. Now, it is now that Bloomberg can report on protests in Nigeria. CNN reported it. Every major media outlet, Washington Post, they all reported it because they know that end SARS now cannot bring about end Nigeria now. When you talk about end Nigeria now, then you will see their true colors. That was what the pastor was saying. You people need to be able to think. Ending SARS now is not the issue. You must end Nigeria now, because the white man understands that is where your problem lies. They know it very well. And to keep you caged down, they must help you in your ignorance and stupidity to sustain one Nigeria. Ask yourself why the British High Commissioner to the Zoo, Catriona Lang, that woman, that blood-sucking murderer she is. I will read her tweet for you. Please post it. Significant protests over SARS demonstrating Nigerian people's desire for police reform. Did they tell you that is what they want? Police reform? So you didn't hear about the revolution that was being planned and everybody was arrested and that one died down? You've not heard about ending Nigeria now. You've not heard about the restructuring debate that they are talking about. You've not heard about the regionalism going back to the regions. The people have been agitating for a very long time. You've not heard about Biafra. And the reason why, or the reasons why we have been agitating for Biafra. You claim you don't know all these things. Now you are tweeting. You are tweeting in favor of demonstration and SARS. All of a sudden, you are now acknowledging that demonstration is a good thing, that protest is a good thing. The same thing we were doing before. This same woman and the one before her said to Fulani army, go and kill them. We are there in Europe and in the world. Nothing will happen to you. I don't know why black people cannot reason. The reason why they cannot reason, I don't know. God gave you brain the same way that God gave brain to Asian people, gave brain to Latinos, gave brain to everybody, Eskimos, just name it, Caucasians. The same brain you're carrying. But what is wrong with yours? As a black person, I'm asking you. That you can be manipulated so easily. Somebody started a campaign about let us unfollow Buhari as if Buhari is alive. They have eyes and they have ears, of course, as Jeremiah said in the book of Jeremiah 5:21. They have eyes, they cannot see. They have ears, they cannot hear. People wonder every blessed day, why is it that anytime nnamdi Kanu comes on air, he talks about the same thing all the time? Because that is where your problem lies. Your problem lies in your inability to reason very well like a human being. That is why a British woman, a white woman in Abuja, can be remote controlling all of you like the idiots you are. Who told you your problem is SARS? There is a saying where we come from. Somebody should please interpret, not Bright Shimeze, please, somebody else who understands what I'm saying. He doesn't know what I'm talking about. You don't abandon the main problem itself and you're treating the symptoms all the time. SARS is a symptom of what is wrong with the zoo. SARS is not the problem. The problem is the political mindset, the Fulani Janjaweed mindset that gave rise to SARS. It is common sense. Anybody with the brain will understand that in Nigeria lies the problem, not SARS. Common sense. Common sense. The British woman have tweeted, and that is why I think before we came on air, they said that they are announcing we have now banned SARS. I'll come to that garbage. Like, ban what? Fulani. What else do they have? Fulani believes in terrorism. Either both legitimate and illegitimate terrorism. Legitimate terrorism is their police and their army and their road safety corps and every idiotic agency that carries a gun. The illegitimate ones are the ones they are funding. I told you people that the Fulanis are the ones who are funding terrorists. They are the ones who are in charge of the government. And all of you, you know what to do. All of you collectively, you know what to do. Now you understand the power of protest. Because it has nothing to do with the tampering with the integrity of Nigeria. That is why they can allow it to happen. Relatively, of course, they have shot some people dead, but that's why they can allow it to happen. Talk about endangering their business interest, which is the Zoological Republic. You will see them, they will come out in force. They will mobilize their tanks, everything. They will shoot and kill and nothing will happen. Hypocrisy. Using black people against black people. That is why some idiots are jumping up and down in America saying they want to vote Democrats, they want to vote the same Biden that said he doesn't want his children to go to the same school as black kids. People are foolish. People are so foolish. This OG black people, you people are so dumb. It's untrue. It is untrue. Who saved you from slavery? Republicans saved you from slavery. Against who? Against Democrats that were holding you as slaves in the South. True or false? I'm asking black. Every time I am moved in the spirit to preach this black stupidity. Every time I want to preach something else, Elohim will say to me, will minister to me and say, you must preach, because there lies the problem of a black man. They do not reason very well. They don't think properly. Keep hammering on it every blessed day. That is why I preach this gospel the way I do. That some of them may acquire some common sense. And I'm sure as this very pastor have boldly preached in his church, so too will other people. And some of you are wondering this evening in the Zoological Republic, why was it that all of a sudden SARS have been banned? Because I'll read the statement in a short while. I will give you the reasons why. They love traveling. All their monies are abroad. All the monies that they have stolen, they are abroad. All of you following and praising people who are looters, the money they have stolen is abroad, and you're supporting them. Black people are dumb, I'm telling you the truth. It's unbelievable. People who cannot reason very well. Idiots come out and they say, oh, but all these years, what have you been able to do? All these years, what have you done? Nothing. It was IPOB that made it possible for Obama to come out and to campaign for one Nigeria, because we are putting them under pressure. But because you are black and you're dumb, you're very foolish, you're like a monkey hanging from a tree somewhere in the Serengeti. Your brain cannot even dissect what Obama is saying. You cannot ask yourself, why would the US president say that to keep Nigeria one is the tax that must be done? Who is threatening that one Nigeria if it's not IPOB and Biafra agitation? Until Obama comes out and says, I'm getting a lot of pressure from Biafran people, from IPOB. They want to have their own independent homeland, but I disagree with them. I want Nigeria to be one. That is how foolish you are. With your useless degree, you still have no brain. You cannot put two and two together. That's how foolish some of you are. I must preach the gospel. Let me tell you why the IG of police earlier this evening said they have banned SARS, if at all they have. Now listen, US, UK, EU urged to place visa ban on IG of police, the DIG, AIG, over Nigeria SARS brutality. Once this very group started to press for visa ban, as it happened in Edo State, result immediately. You can see the result immediately. They have banned SARS because they all want to travel. Look at, is it under elections, where there was no threat from US embassy and all the other embassies threatening visa ban, they have rigged it as usual. Because the eyes of everybody is no longer there. It is on SARS. End SARS now. Have you seen it? It is not because of your demonstration. They ended it because they are afraid of visa ban from the US, the UK, the EU, and others. They were asked to stop the IG of police, who shouldn't be in office, a Fulani man, a murderer, people with a Janjaweed, the Fulanization agenda. That is the only thing that matters to them. You can't stop them from traveling abroad. You can't. That was why. And I'm going to give you exactly, or should I say precisely, what happened earlier this evening. I'm going to read a press release from the IG of police office. And then, of course, we will try and we should be circumspect about this, because it has happened 4 times before. You see the same SARS now they are banning. They have banned it 4 times before. If you don't know. And I'll prove it to you tonight. They have banned it before. To tell you that there is something dishonest at the heart, at the darkened heart of the zoo of Nigeria. There is something almost poisonously evil about them. They can never speak the truth. Always lying and deceiving you, because they know that all the years you've spent in kindergarten, in primary school, in secondary school, in university, and all the rest of it, in colleges, you've been trained to remember, not to think. All you do is you remember. You can quote laws of the past. You are not innovative enough to think on your feet. They know that very well. The white man that is today colonizing you, because anybody who tells me that any country in Africa is free, I will put my 2 fingers in the person's eye, because you are foolish. we are being controlled by external forces because Africans have refused to reason. And here this evening again is a confirmation of that. Press release. IGP, that is Inspector General of Police, a Fulani man, dissolves the Special Anti-Robbery Squad, SARS, and places other measures to protect the citizens. Since when did they start protecting them? Since people started asking for visa ban for the IG of police and every other person involved in the clampdown against people who are protesting. Only that time. That is the only reason why. But let us go through what they have said. They said, in the finest spirit of democratic, citizen-centered and community policing, since when did you become democratic? The election that you rig every blessed day. Every blessed day. The senator for, I don't know if it's Imo North or Central or heaven knows where, Okorocha, INEC came out and said, this man did not win, will not give me a certificate, yet he was called to come to Senate. The same elections that you rig, the same people that go about killing and harvesting organs and selling to Indian hospitals, all of a sudden overnight, you are talking about spirit of democratic. Is there any spirit of democracy in the zoo, Nigeria, created by Britain? Is there any spirit of democracy in that zoo, I ask you? I will continue to read the jargon they wrote. The Inspector General of Police, IGP, MA Adamu, MPM, MNI, whatever that garbage means, has today, 11th of October 2020, dissolved the Special Anti-Robbery Squad, SARS, across the 36 states, across the 36 state police commands and the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, where they hitherto existed. The IGP, while noting that the dissolution of SARS is a response to the yearnings of the Nigerian people, observes that by this dissolution, all officers and men of the now defunct Special Anti-Robbery Squad are being redeployed with immediate effect. In other words, from tomorrow morning, wherever you see SARS, you can stone them. Anybody wearing SARS uniform from tomorrow is a criminal. Anybody wearing SARS t-shirt from tomorrow should be hounded and taken down because they no longer exist, according to this very press statement. But tomorrow you see them on the streets. And I want people to be very vigilant. Tomorrow you will see them again on the streets. The same people that they claim that they have banned. They said that they have listened to, of course, they are afraid of visa ban. That is the same reason why they have now said they have banned it. But while they claim they are banning it, this is to tell you one thing about Nigeria. Maybe Obama didn't quite know this about the zoo that he was defending, or something that the British cleverly put in place to cage your reasoning capacity. Arewa Youth Consultative Forum, I don't want to mention this bunch of, these are beggars doing babiala on the street. They went through nomadic education, quota education. How they managed to leave secondary school is a mystery. How they managed to graduate is left for the imagination. These are a bunch of filthy, smelling, dirty pigs working with Owazirike, Arewa Youth, under one Nigeria. You know what they said? They said that the 19 northern states are against the End SARS campaign. We only call for reform and reorganization of SARS. That is how they have been from day one. Why are they against the end of SARS? Because they are the ones controlling it, because they want to depopulate the South. I asked them a simple question. Can you show me where SARS killed a Fulani boy, a young enterprising Fulani boy before in the North? The answer is no. All the killings are being done in the South. That is where they do all the killings. That is where they do all the killings. Do you see, this is the same one Nigeria that Obama wants IPOB to abandon the agitation for Biafra and to embrace one Nigeria. The task of keeping Nigeria one is for everybody to perform. We must keep Nigeria one. In that same Nigeria, whereas people are complaining everywhere, Middle Belt and the South, that even foreign missions have recognized the destructiveness, the wickedness, the impunity, the brutality of SARS. There are some people calling themselves Nigerians that want SARS to continue to kill their fellow citizens. These are the people telling you about one Nigeria. I hope you understand what I'm saying. The hypocrisy of the place stinks to high heavens and backwards. These are the things you must understand. These are the things that we are preaching against on a daily basis. These are the things that you must understand. That is something I want posted on my page. Of course, that's why they are suppressing it. They will keep doing it. That is their business. We are spreading it. And the whole world, if their suppression is working, why are they still doing it? every time. Because they know that we have over 60 million people that pay very close attention to anything that we have to say. I will also prove that again to you tonight. There is a headline that I want posted by BBC of all people, BBC News in Pidgin. On 21st of January 2019, only last year, 2019, 21st of January 2019, let me tell you what they said. Let me tell you what BBC reported. Acting IGP Adamu don't disband the Federal Special Anti-Robbery Squad and others with immediate effect. By this time, I wouldn't say this time, January of last year, 21st of January to be precise, BBC News reported that the same man today that issued this same statement saying that he has banned SARS, disbanded SARS last year. Please put it on my page that the world may see. Oh, dear me, zoological republic, the zoo. See, this is one thing about black people. They love to lie and deceive themselves. They know the truth, but they prefer the lies. I want to ask them, this same SARS you're disbanding today, what happened to the disbandment you did last year, 21st of January to be precise? Please put it on my page that the world may see it. That there is something wrong with the brain of a black man. They love to deceive themselves. They love to deceive themselves. And they will pay the price for it. They will. My happiness today is that a lot of people have now seen through this very charade and can now see the truth. The reason why British High Commissioner Katrina Lang, the reason why she rushed to tweet about end SARS now, is to try to see, because if you people end SARS now, they will say, okay, can't you see that the will of the people have prevailed? Watch Zoo newspapers from tomorrow. They will tell you, oh, that for once, the will of the people have prevailed. Now the people can now shape the democracy. The same old lies, the same old tricks. The reason why they did it, the reason why the British High Commissioner to Nigeria, the reason why that devilish woman tweeted about end SARS now, is to take away the attention from the agitation for separation happening now across the Middle Belt and the South. Because people can now cut through the charade of the zoo. People can now see their lies for what it is. For very many years, the Fulanis have been counting on Yoruba docility. They have been counting on Yoruba, following them sheepishly, counting on the Yoruba Muslim population to always do their bidding, to convince their Christian brothers and sisters to join them in this gang up against Biafra. But by the very special grace of the Most High, Elohim, this very day, the eyes of the people have now opened. Oduduwa Republic, Gani Adams backs Nigeria's breakup and gives reasons by Obong Express. That's where I got it from. Nobody can accuse them of being part of IPOB, of being part of... This is the news that it is in the zoo. And I'll read it for you. Because people who don't know how far we have come, this was the reason why the pig in the creek was talking rubbish. Because when they were having meetings, when the pig and his clique, they set up by Fulani Janjaweed, of course they set them up. When they were having meetings with Yoruba people and Middle Belt, they were talking about one Nigeria. Now that we are having meetings with these people, they are talking about separation. So they had to come out to speak. They had to come to say something. They must have been, and to back it up, they gave Loretta Noche 650-something million to try and distribute to the idiots who are serving her cause. Now listen. The area on Akakamfo of Yoruba land, Gani Adams has revealed how the Southwest can separate from Nigeria without bloodshed. The Yoruba leader said it was possible for Oduduwa Republic to be actualized without war. Adams said for Nigeria to remain as a unit, President Buhari must not ignore renewed Yusuf Muhammad Abubakar. Yusuf Muhammad Abubakar must not ignore renewed calls for restructuring. He noted that the call for Oduduwa Republic became necessary as Nigeria's state was failing. These are the heavyweights in Yoruba land. For once, They are now talking about separation and being on their own. It has never happened before. And that is the reason why British High Commissioner to Nigeria she was fighting very hard to see the End SARS campaign work, so they can come back tomorrow and say, oh, can't you see, if you all get together and protest and demand for good governance, you will have it in Nigeria. That's what they're trying to do. But you need to have common sense to understand that. You need to go back to their antecedents, go back to the way they used to behave in the past to understand what their stratagem is, to understand what their overall game plan is. And this very evening, having started with what the pastor said, having come down and analyzed the fact that Nigerians are now protesting, the same people that said kill IPOB for protesting, that protest is not good, the same bunch of idiots that said you're risking your lives protesting, are today talking about how joyful it is to protest and to get result as a result of that very protest that you have embarked upon. Can't you see that we're winning everywhere? All this sound education people are receiving on this very glorious platform is now paying dividend. Can't you see it? That everywhere we are winning. And I want to tell you something that actually astonished me. I don't know. I kept asking people, are you sure this is true? They said, yes, it is true, because this very press release came from a very reliable source. This very broadcast this evening is to let our people understand that only IPOB can save you. Because eventually, no matter what you say, regardless of how much you grumble, regardless of how much it doesn't matter. Your greed, your envious nature, that jealousy that is eating your darkened, black, idiotic soul can never prevail. The truth will always prevail. And here we speak the truth always. It doesn't matter how idiotic you are. Do you know that today, yesterday I got this very press release, and I'll read it for you. To understand the work that IPOB is doing, for people to understand the work that Radio Biafra is doing, the sensitization, the awareness we are creating cannot be quantified in monetary terms. You cannot put any price to it. It is priceless. For the first time, the Yorubas are coming out to ask for separation. Because you can't come into contact with IPOB and your life will be the same. It's not possible. You will change. And that is what is happening. Pastors are now coming in contact with us, and their preaching is now beginning to change. Zoo animals have learned something from us. Now they are protesting. The same thing they were against, they are now coming out on the street to protest against the same government that we've been telling them for years is bad for them. And yesterday evening, I received this very press statement. I will read it for you. Igbos, listen carefully. Igbos in the South and Middle Belt reclaim their Igbo-ness. Vow not to hide their identities again as the Ikwere group blacklists the strange the Rumola, the Rumukrushu, Rumu this and Rumu that, and the Y, and other prefixes and suffixes in their names and names of their streets. Igbo People's Congress IPC reacts. This is what I have been preaching from day one. I said that this is my gripe, one of them, against Ohaneze. I said to Ohaneze that they were behaving like a bunch of idiots being controlled from Sokoto. People said, why? Why do you insult them? I'm not insulting them. I'm telling them the truth. You cannot claim to be Ohaneze and Igbo. There are Igbo people that they have given to Fulani in the north, in Benue State. There are Igbo people in Anioma, in Edo State, that every time is the southeast, the five states. Whereas there are Igbo people in Cross River State, Igbo people in Akwa Ibom State. Of course, we are all one Biafran people and one Igbo people, of course, I know that. But those who speak the language, who identify themselves to be Igbo, there is an organization that claims that they represent them. And I was asking them for very many years. We kept preaching. We kept spreading our relay stations in all these places. And given that our people are highly intelligent, of course, they are very intelligent people. These are Biafran people, ancient people. They have reasoned, and now they have issued a press statement to say all that are rubbish, rumu this, rumu that, rumu Igbo, rumu all that, got the complete nonsense. When I say it now, the pig in the creek won't understand what I'm saying. Who brought the ROY and all that nonsense? It was Okiro, wasn't it? Isn't that his name? The MPN governor of River State. That confessed to me before he died. He confessed to me in his house in Stratford in London that was the greatest mistake of his life. Adding all this arrow, this Oyibo is now Oyibo. Can you imagine such garbage, such utter nonsense? By people who cannot reason very well. Because they were convinced by Fulani. The same Fulani today is taking our oil in Biafra land, including the same Izon land. They take their oil and go, whereas all gold in Zamfara belongs to Zamfara people, but the oil in Bayelsa State belongs to Jigawa. In broad daylight, people can see all of this nonsense. And they're not doing anything about it. Absolutely nothing about it. Very, very sad indeed. Now listen, I want our people to pay very close. People wonder, what have you done? What has IPOB done? This idiot, listen carefully to what I'm saying. The whole world is listening and they'll be wondering why I'm referring to some people. I said, because black people don't reason. They don't reason. Now listen carefully. For those of you who are wondering, now listen to what IPOB has done. Listen to what Radio Biafra has accomplished. The Igbo people in the south and middle belt of Nigeria have vowed to reclaim their Igbo heritage and ancestry after some of them denied this. After some of them were denied this for years, especially after the Civil War. Now listen, the various Igbo groups and subgroups in rivers, in Bayelsa, in Delta, in Akwa Ibom, in Cross River, in Edo, in Kogi, and in Benue. For very many years, when they draw the map, they say, oh, the agitating for Biafra is Vanguard especially. You will see Vanguard with a map of Nigeria with one small green dot. They will say it's Biafra or Southeast. And I look at them and I laugh. If we had given up all these years, do you think that Igbo people in rivers, in Bayelsa, in Delta, in Akwa Ibom, in Cross River, in Edo, in Kogi and Benue would have risen up under the aegis of Igbo Renaissance to say that they regret that the identity was denied from them for the past 50 years? That is the power of consistency. We are all Biafrans, yes. But I kept asking Ohaneze, is it? Go back to my broadcast of 4 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, I kept hammering on this very issue. You cannot claim to be Ohaneze Ndigbo when you, out of cowardice and idiocy and stupidity and wretchedness of the spirit, you allow your people who are in Cross River, in Akwa Ibom, these people are stupid, they're very useless. Little did we know that the people that we are preaching to, that they are listening. They are listening. An idiot will stand up and say, I'm not Igbo, I'm Ikere, I'm Anioma, I'm not Igbo. Out of the abundance of stupidity, we brought out their idiocy and showed it to them. They can now see it. All the way to Igodo. The key that opens the key, that the world may know that we know the truth. Britain can deceive Fulani and use them against their fellow blacks because they are naturally stupid. That is their business. They were deceiving Yoruba people for many years, deceiving them. Igbo man is your problem. They went to Middle Belt. Igbo man is your problem. Biafra is your problem. To keep Nigeria one. They have kept Nigeria one and SARS are killing you. Now you're protesting. Do you see the work we are doing? Money cannot buy it. People have now risen up everywhere. All those nonsensical names, Rumu Igbo, Rumu Okurushi, Rumu Okoro, Rumu, all this rubbish, Oyibo, garbage. Obi-Igbo, Umu Igbo. That is what is driving me insane. That is what is driving me mad. That drives me. I hate Nigeria. People don't understand how much I hate Nigeria. People don't understand how much I don't hate Britain. Of course, I love it. I'm an Anglophile myself. But I hate what idiots in foreign and Commonwealth office did to the psyche of the people. When I say that black people are foolish, these are the reasons that I have. In Igbocha, there are people called Omo Igbo in Igbocha. An idiot is telling me that these people are from Niger Delta. For the life of me, I can't understand it. Omo Igbo, children of Igbo people, inside River State, Igwocha. Somebody out of wickedness, somebody out of unbridled hatred decided to add R in front. So when you say Umu Igbo, you wouldn't know what it means. But if you say Umu Igbo, when you say I am from Umu Igbo, but I'm not Igbo, I'm from Rivers, anybody look at it, they will slap you and say your madness needs to be cured. Do you see what they did to us? The man who was responsible for adding this R to Rumu Igbo, Rumu Krushu, Rumu this, Rumu that, is an Ezon man from Ejo. He was deceived to fight his own people. But in front of me, he confessed in England. He owned a house in Stratford. That day, he gave us 120 pounds. I'll never forget. I went there with Ibazo. Sorry, with Ikazo, not Ibazo, God forbid. With Ikazo. He was a retired London police officer. I went there with him. The year was 1997. I will never forget. Melford, that's his name, Melford Okilo, the MPN governor of Rivers State. Those who were against Biafra, those who changed our names. There's somebody who says, I am from a village called Omo Igbo, children of Igbo people, but I'm not Igbo, I'm Niger Delta. Hi, God forbid. And you want nnamdi kanu to tolerate such nonsense because of political correctness? I think you are mad. You are insane. I cannot put up with such fallacy. It can never be done, not in our time. Chukwu Okike Abiama mandated us to speak the truth always, regardless of the consequences. It must be preached, and that's what we do on this very platform. And it is yielding results, of course. People should stop complaining like little children. Go and download IPOB Community Radio. Stop complaining like little kids. Go and download IPOB Community Radio. It's as simple as that. And listen to what we are preaching. Forget stupid Facebook. The same way, one day Facebook will realize what they've done to themselves. Those of them working for Facebook in the zoo, one day they will realize it. The same way that today that zoo animals have woken up to realize that protest is very good. We must go out to protest if we want to end SARS. And they claim they have ended SARS, of course, for the 6th time in 6 years. Let us watch and see what is going to happen. All the idiots who were responsible for the Urumu this, Urumu that, have you seen, it's all in vain. All it took was for truth to come and shine a light on all the lies, and all the lies disappeared. If they tell you before there are Igbo people in Cross River State, will you believe it? They say, you're trying to grab our land. There are Igbo people in Akwa Ibom. There are Igbo people in Benue. But they deliberately crushed us into a very tiny space and told Ohanese, make sure you don't talk, make sure you don't. That was why they brought Operation Python Dance, to stop us from speaking the truth. Today, that very truth, are they coming to apologize to us? No, they won't. To come to us to apologize, to say, oh, we are very sorry. Everything Nnamdi Kanu has been preaching has been the truth from day one. It is here in clear, in black and white. These are the Igbo people who are not in the southeast. They say, when you see Britain, we say, oh, those Igbos in the southeast. Is southeast. Biafra, the people that want Biafra is southeast. People, they know the truth. That is what is driving me mad. That is why I hate Nigeria. People know the truth. They know the truth morning, noon, and night, but they prefer to believe the lies. Is it Godomigodo not Igbo land? Is Benin not Igbo land? I'm asking. What is the meaning of the name Igodomigodo? Which other people have the same name? What do you call Ki? We are the only ones that call it Igodo. The only people. The key that opens the key. Is that in dispute? Is somebody telling me that those from Asian Ubiaja, they're not Igbo people? Is that what you're telling me? Are you telling me that Ebanke is not Igbo people? But people come and they want to lie to themselves. Because as the pastor said, as the preacher said when we started, when colonialism came, the white man came with a plan to colonize you forever and ever. You are to be their slave. That is why anybody who tries to tamper with anything the white man created, like the zoo called Nigeria, they say you're a secessionist. But I want to ask them a question tonight. What do you call somebody who came and amalgamated different people together? What do you call that person? He's a joinist. So look at, he's a joinist. We are seceding from what a white man made. Do you see how they have trained you to reason and to think? Like a fool. They trained you to behave like an animal, not to be able to reason. Ask yourself this question. Before Nigeria existed, did Biafra exist? The answer is yes. Did Oduduwa exist? The answer is yes. So what is your problem? Why was it not a crime to join people together, but it is a crime for people to go their separate ways? If it is a crime for people to go their separate ways, why is Scotland agitating to be free from England? If it is a crime to be free, why was it that Britain left European Union? I want black people to reason, if at all they can. If a white man can say, I don't like EU, I want to leave, the same white man or white woman in the case of Catriona Lang is now telling you in Nigeria, you cannot leave Nigeria, but they left the EU. Who is fooling who? I ask you. Do you see why they are playing with your brain? Do you see why you are a black animal? Do you see why blacks are wretched and useless and poor? Why there is no electricity? Do you see why you don't have good roads? Because of the way you reason. Ask yourself, ask the British representative Catriona Lang in Abuja, ask her, Madam High Commissioner, why was it that Britain left the EU? Why are you not in the EU? In the EU, you are the same people, Anglo-Saxon, because some of you are from Germany, some of you are from Normandy in France. You all practice democracy. You are all even Christians. Why did Britain leave the EU if being in one big huge market is very good? The same people that left the EU is telling you not to leave Nigeria that is killing you. And I can't. So I asked God in heaven, is there any other way I need to explain this for people to begin to understand how foolish they are? I want to ask those that believe in one Nigeria, including Britain. Britain, if being in a very large family is very good, big country, big people, big market, Britain, why did you leave the EU? I want to prove to Britain that you have a lot in common with Germany, with France, more than I have in common with a Fulani person. In France, they are Christians. In Germany, they are Christians. They believe in democracy. They believe in power belonging to the people. They are mostly republics. Yes? So you have a lot in common with all of them. But I don't have anything in common with a Fulani person. Fulani doesn't believe in democracy. They believe in feudalism. They don't believe in the religion that I believe in. But all of you in Europe, you're all Christians. Yet Britain cannot be in EU. But you that have a lot in common, you cannot be together. We that are dying every blessed day, as a result of our deep fault lines and differences, you want us to be together. That is what I'm asking black people. Do you see how foolish you are? Black Nigerians, do you see how idiotic you are? So what is good for Britain is not good for you, because they are white. And you are a black monkey in Africa. You are a black monkey in Africa. You cannot reason very well. Now, let me explain something to you that people don't understand. People may wonder why I keep going back to this all the time. Because I want people to understand the very important work that we are doing. We are going to respect every nationality. In Biafra land, every nationality will be free. I've said it time and time. We are going to go back to the way we were before Lugard came. Everybody's going to be free. And the people say, you are being so harsh on Ohanese. I want to let you understand why I believe that the Igbos never had any leadership until we came. Why Ohanese has been useless for very many years. I said idiotically useless. And they are busy grooming another set of idiots. We'll get hold of them. You can issue statement and hide and run away. We'll find all of you one day. Now listen. In River State, there is Ebema. Ebema is also in Imo State. A Hausa woman, not Hausa, Fulani woman came and divided them into two and said, you Ebema, yes, but from today, you're Niger Delta. You Ebema, from today, you are Igbo, you are Southeast. And we accepted it. Like the bunch of fools that we are. That was why I made the allegation that Ohaneze Ndigbo was formed to rubber stamp the draconian rules and laws of Fulani Janjaweed in our land. Because if I were to be the Ohaneze President General, I cannot accept that Ebema is Niger Delta. That is rubbish. Pure rubbish. Rubbish in the morning, rubbish in the afternoon, rubbish in the evening. But they accepted it. Eche is in Rivers. Omoma, the same Omoma you have in Mbise, is in Rivers State. Equally, of course, our people that Ekpeye is there, Obibo is there, Opopo is Igbo, Opopo. They said they're landlocked. Who told you that rubbish? Oba is pronounced Oba. Is in Rivers State. In Edo State, you have a bank, you have a Bakri. Even Archbishop Benson Idahosa, somebody wrote this for me, and his wife, Igbo died from a banke. You see, Archbishop Idahosa, Benson Idahosa, he's an Igbo man. He's from a banke in Uhonde, local government area of Edo State, and was formerly in Uhio 1 local government area. The man that caused this problem is Samuel Obemudia. Obemudia's mother is from a banke, which is Iwakare today. Most indigenous of this town, just like Heka people, bear hybrid names that most often could just pass as a do. It's only an Igbo man that prefers to hide himself. They love it. It's only an Igbo man, not Hausa, not Fulani, not Yoruba. Only an Igbo man will proudly say, I am not Igbo. And when I see such people, I just want to cut off their head. I'm telling you. You don't know how much I hate those people. You have no idea. I tell them, I hate you and I despise you because your stupidity is incurable. They answer names like Ndoka Irabo. You don't know where he's from. Jim of Ovia. You don't know where he's from. Or Morege Wanwane. You don't know where he's from. People hiding from themselves. The Fulani and Britain made them ashamed of who they are. That they had to hide. You see, Loretta Onochi. That one is that the demon of harlotry entered inside that one. That one is a natural born prostitute and was selling prostitutes in Italy. Confused bunch of idiots. Confused to the core. Collins Edumaruse. Nobody knows who is who. Then we come to Delta State. Eka, Ndokwa, Ukwane, Aniocha, Oshimili. All Igbo people. But if you go there, I'm not Igbo. I can't. The only people in the whole world. I have done my research. The only people in the whole world to deny who they are Igbo people. No other person has done. No other group, only Igbo. Very foolish. In Bayelsa State, we have the Osekwenike, you know that very, very much. Abueto and the Eke Upokri villages, all in Sabama area of Bayelsa State. And from Igbo of Ukwan stock. And as such, the Anyoma Igbo clan of Igbo ethnic group in Bayelsa State, there are Igbo people there. People talking rubbish everywhere, talking nonsense. Now go assuming, pouring spit on pouring saliva on the screen, talking rubbish. Bunch of idiots everywhere. Here we preach the truth, the gospel from heaven given to us to preach. And I'm letting people that drew the map of the zoo, I'm letting Vanguard know that any day they publish that stupid map with that tiny green dot saying this is Southeast, every of their vendor, every of their newspaper in Biafra land will be destroyed that same day and they will not get any penny for it. They are mad. Look at people deceiving themselves in broad daylight. In Cross River State, you have the Sebo people. Laili Moke, the former Cross River State governor, and the wife are Igbo people from Abi, local government area of Cross River State. They speak Igbo. I want Janjaweed to understand. Forget all your gerrymandering of our borders, messing us up over the years, thinking that you will have Ohaneze throughout, rubber stamping your stupidity and ineptitude on our people. They didn't know we were going to come. They never knew we were going to come. They never knew that. But we have come. And heaven is bearing us witness. You see how we are winning? When we went into this, but it's too difficult. You can't go leave it. When you finish, just use only Southeast. I said, no, it is a lie. There are Igbo people in Benue State. The Igbos in Benue State, particularly those in Ado, Oju, Obi, or Okulo government areas of the state, were in existence before even Christianity came to the Zoological Republic. Igbos are found in Benue in Umweze Okoha, Oriuzo, Umuagara, Ameka, and Ama Ezekwe, all in Eza communities, Izi, Ezambo, Efim. These are people who could have been in present day Ebonyi State, but today, these are the people that want us to vote for them to be president, Igbo presidency. When under their watch, our land was carved into pieces. Our territory reduced by 50% of what it was before. In fact, by 60%. The present day Southeast is only 40% of Igbo landmass. And they accepted it. And these are the idiots who are coming to campaign to be president. Oh, dear me. Oh, dear me. Apart from the Eza-speaking clan, particularly the people of Umweze, there are over 300 villages. If you are to calculate the number of Igbo-speaking villages in Benue State, outside Umweze, you will be talking about 600 villages in Benue. 3 of the biggest markets in Benue are all in the Igbo-speaking part. The markets are Inikiri, Echara, Eda, Iduokwe. These are some of the Igbo-speaking Idoma towns in Benue State. So when I say we are all one people, people don't believe me. If you want to know that we are all Igbo people, the entire Biafra land is Igbo. Forget all this nonsensical garbage of Niger Delta rubbish. Igbo. If not, why is it that you have Igbo in everywhere? In a bank there is Igbo in it. In Idoma there is Igbo in it. In Igala there is Igbo in it. Go and check everywhere. Go and check. You know that God has a way, Chukwukikabam has a way of telling you who your brothers are in a very funny way. Who says that? How about the Igala people? I've said this thing before. Igala people living in Obosi. How about the traditional title in Obosi called the Ata of Obosi? You've not heard about it before? These are the people who descended from Igala people. That we are one. But every day, Janjaweed, the Fulani will be pumping rubbish into your brain. You'll be accepting it. The same way that Britain cleverly trained you not to reason. They only trained you to remember, to cram. That is why when you go to exams, you regurgitate the crap you have crammed. And that way you can pass. You are not allowed to be innovative. You are not allowed to think. In Kogi State, there are Igbo people there as well. If you doubt me, go to Ibaji, Egalamela, Odolo government areas. Eke Avurugo is there. Eke Avurugo in Kogi State. Because I will come later on to what that idiot said, called Garaba Shehu. He was asked in an interview by a foreign journalist. They asked him, he said, oh, do you know what they did? They even included estates that are outside the Southeast. Can you believe such garbage? Whereas in Kogi State, there are, if at all you want to restrict Biafra to only Igbo people, of course, it is not. Biafra is made up of various clans and ethnic groups. Sub-ethnic groups, they're not ethnic. The overall ethnic group is Igbo, believe it or not. Forget all that propaganda. And when Biafra comes, nnamdi Kanu is going to lord it and other people. That is nonsense. It is people who are suffering from inferiority complex. If you know who we are, you know how transparent we are. How open we are. I said we are going back to the way we were before the white man came. Everybody must answer their father's name. Garuba Shehu was telling a foreign journalist, a white journalist, that I went and included states that are outside the Southeast. But today I am telling Garba Shehu. There is a place called Baji, Galamela, Udolu local government areas. In that place, you will find Eke Avurugo community. You will see Wajala. You will see Umuoye. You will see Ubulie Umweze. You will see Azara. You will see Umuoye and many more. They are in Kogi State. They are Igbo. Are you listening? You want us to leave our people and go? Of course not. Of course not. Now you understand it. How serious we are. We are not Ohaneze and Throne and Dioshi. We are more than that garbage. We are here to rescue the children of God. You children of Satan can be on your own in the north. Fulani Janjaweed. Move your cattle from village to village. Slaughter yourselves. That is your business. For us, we are doing the work that Elohim Chukwokikabiama asked us to do in this very time, and that is what we are doing. We are not leaving anybody behind. You must bear that in mind. And to round up this issue of the balkanization and the gerrymandering of our borders, there was something that somebody sent to me, published in a newspaper in the Zoological Republic. I will read the headline for you. Lady shares landlord's text messages saying, I don't want Igbo tenants and tenants from South. As we said before, they come to you and they say, you are not Igbo, you're Niger Delta, you're South. But when you go to the north and elsewhere, when the discrimination descends upon you, you are all one people. And I want to read the exchanges between a woman who was rejected and the agent of the landlord for a house in Lagos. Listen very carefully, please. A Nigerian lady who is in search of a house in Lagos took to Twitter to share her screenshots of the chat between her and an agent standing in for a landlord. The lady identified herself as Mary Ufot, U-F-O-T, who hails from Akwa Ibom State. She revealed that the agent inquired where she's from and told her that Igbo tenants are not wanted. This is Lagos. Mary revealed that although she mentioned that she's not Igbo, she said she's not Igbo, the agent still told her that those from Akwa Ibom are still considered as Igbo people in Lagos. When you tell people the truth, they don't want to understand it. We are all Igbo people. Forget about the subgroups that are within. That was why I asked them, if you're in doubt, if you don't know who you are, go to where people have done research. Go to Google and ask yourself, who am I? Google will tell you who you are. And it has happened. They told her, your name is Mary Ufot, you're from Akwa Ibom. You actually Igbo to us. She's busy hiding who she is. I don't know, I'm not Igbo. I'm not related to them. No, I'm not. Because somebody has been feeding them junk over the years about people dominating them, about people taking over their lives. The same rubbish they told to Southern Kaduna people, the same nonsense they told Middle Belt people. Today, the same people that told them, Igbo man is your problem, Biafra is your problem, are the ones raping, killing, pillaging, and taking over their land from them. Did Britain tweet about Fulani headsmen? Did the British High Commissioner tweet about Fulani headsmen? No, she wouldn't. She wouldn't want to say anything that will stop their business empire. Nigeria is a business, it's not a country. It is just a mere British business. And the Fulani are benefiting. That is why they even came out to campaign that SARS should continue. Because SARS is helping them to eliminate a great number of young people in the South. That is the zoo for you. The damnable Zoological Republic. Very, very sad indeed. Extremely sad indeed. Even Sweden came out to condemn the killing of the attack on protesters by SARS. Sweden condemns attack on protesters by Nigeria police. They spoke of, maybe they've been waiting for very many years, saying Nigeria is very horrible. They've been waiting for very many years, and all of a sudden, finally, at last, they can now see how horrible and how evil the zoo is. I'll read you the tweet from Sweden. Sweden condemns all forms of violence and acknowledges the human right to peaceful protest. Now they are speaking. But IPOB was protesting. Nobody was hurt. Nobody was harmed. They asked them to come and kill us. Now Sweden is tweeting that protest is a very good thing. People should go out and protest, and berating the Zoological Republic for attacking peaceful protesters. That is Sweden. You know that the whites are superior to blacks. So now that the whites are speaking up, we can now follow. That is why even if you go to America, once a black man or black woman makes money, they want to move into a white neighborhood. Because they set the standard, that is the way it is, because they can reason. Black people cannot reason. That is why we are always following them. That is why we want them to lead all the time. Anything they say is fine. Anything they do is fine. After all, let's face the fact, all the inventions of the modern world came from them. All we have been doing is to beg, is to plead. And it has gotten us nowhere. Now that Sweden have condemned them, now the zoo newspapers can join in the condemnation. These were the same people that kept quiet when IPOB family members were being shot dead when we were protesting. Today, protest is now a good thing. And I want to tell you something about the zoo that people seem to forget, but it is the truth. This was something again that Ohaneze alluded to concerning the Eastern governors. Let me put it that way. We are not the chief security officers of our states, or your state governor Makinde fumes as SARS slaughters protesters in Obomosho. A governor of a state who constitutionally is the chief security officer of the state, which means if SARS is about to do something, the governor of the state can say, don't do that. Governor of the state can say to the police commissioner, don't deploy your men, don't kill anybody. But even in your state, these are people that want to keep Nigeria warm. These are people that claim they obey the law. These are people that claim that they are submissive to the Constitution of the Zoological Republic. A governor is telling you that he is not in charge of his state. What does that tell? It is a feudal system. The Fulani emirs in the north, the Sultan of Sokoto, and the cabal, the criminals in Asorok, they run your lives. They determine who lives and who dies. A governor is lamented. The same governor believes in one Nigeria because he's making money. The family is living large from the allocation the state is getting, or from the patronage that is able to dispense. So he is living large, so he's enjoying it. What matters to him is the money he himself and his family are getting. It doesn't matter to him that the laws of the land are not being obeyed, that the fact that he's an executive governor, he's been relegated to a nobody. The people who are in charge of the states, if in case you don't know, are the commissioners of police and the DSS Director General reporting to the Fulani overall man in Abuja. Your governors are not in charge of their states. That is a fact of life. And here, the governor of your state, Makinde, have come out openly to say it, that he is not in charge of his state. Oyo State Governor Mr. Sheyi Makinde has lamented that governors across the 36 states of the zoo, Nigeria, are not the chief officers, security officers of their state, as spelled out in the Constitution. Then what are you doing supporting one Nigeria? That is the difference between white people and black people. I don't know anywhere else in the world where people can be allowed to tolerate such levels of hypocrisy. The Fulani wrote the constitution to suit them. The Fulani are controlling you through their own constitution. Even aspects of that constitution, they are not adhering to it. They are not obeying it. They are not sticking to it. Yet you, after seeing all these things, you still claim you want one Nigeria. That means there is something wrong with your brain. You're not correct. You're not correct. And somebody is actually writing to Commonwealth. You know, they cannot do anything in the zoo. If people are seriously honest about ending the reign of mediocrity, of corruption, of ineptitude, of backwardness, the reign of terrorism, the reign of poverty, and ineptitude, what you need to do is to expand the protest from end SARS to change the zoo, end the zoo. That is what is going to save you. People don't know that over the years, when they come and they say, oh no, you're not Biafra, you're Niger Delta, oh, you're not Igbo, you're Anioma, you're not Igbo, you're Ikwere, you're not Igbo, you're from God knows where. It is to weaken the resolve of the people making it impossible for them to mount any organized resistance against their oppressor. The same classic move that Britain used. Britain came into the zoo and gave power to Fulani, knowing that Fulani is the most backward, the most primitive, the most uncultured, the most uneducated. They know that very well. Everybody knows. All of you listening, you know that Fulani is the most backward, they are the most idiotic, they have nothing to offer. Yet Britain gave them power. Because Britain understands the brain of a black person, that the best oppressor that you can ever get in your life is a black person. Get a black person to oppress a black person for you, and you have the perfect scenario, and that is what is happening. That is why they want one Nigeria. That is why what is happening in the zoo with SARS is resonating all over the world, because it does not affect the integrity of the sham, the fake sovereignty of the fake British sovereignty of Nigeria. A white man came from Europe and gave you sovereignty. You people are mad, honestly speaking. Anybody who supports one Nigeria, you're insane. A white man had to come to create sovereignty for you, and you're defending it with your life. And there you have 4 refineries, you cannot refine petrol. You give crude oil and you import refined petrol. And I'm glad to say that they even listen to us. Do you know that NNPC have changed they have now said that they're no longer going to be giving away crude oil for refined petrol as a result of our gospel on this very platform? Some of you don't know that. Go and read it up. It's there. So everybody's learning from what we are teaching. But we are here to preach and teach you the truth, and that is what we are doing ceaselessly all the time. They said that people are unfollowing Buhari. Buhari died since 2017. Why anybody will follow them, I do not know. But you don't want IPOB to be proven right. You don't want the world to say that, oh, nnamdi Kanu is right. That is why people are cutting off their nose to spite their faces. They are suffering today because they have refused to follow the truth. The truth is that Buhari is no longer there. I published evidence after evidence. I showed the hand of Buhari in 2015, the palm of his hand. On my page, it is there. You can see from the palm of his hand that the man that was waving at you or showing you his thumbprint in 2015 is not the same man who is there now. Somebody came out to say, oh, it's because of the way he bent. Oh, God in heaven. And I asked the idiot, why don't you bend your hand like that and see, take a picture of your hand upright waving and then bend it and take another picture. You see if there is any difference. That tells you all you need to know. Because people have refused to reason. That is why Africa is backward, why Africa is poor, why we wait on the white man to do everything for us. Because we have failed to reason. And I will not stop hammering on it until Biafra is restored and beyond. The problem we have, wherever you have black people all over the world, the reason why we are backwards in everything we are doing is because of the way we reason. Not as individuals, but as a collective. And that is why on this very platform, we need to do all we can to change that type of mindset. And I want to make all of you understand what we are preaching is not sinking, it is sinking in. Even the Supreme Court appointed Fulani administrator of Imo State is now singing a new tune, because sometimes in life, consistency is the key. As long as you're preaching the truth, as long as you're saying what is right before God in heaven and man on this very earth, after a while, even those that produce you, even those who may have issues with what you're saying, or should I say the style with which you deliver it, will come to agree with you. I can't believe I'm reading this, that the Supreme Court administrator, Fulani administrator of Imo State, Hope Uzodinma, you know what he said? That Nigeria is in the worst state of insecurity. I couldn't believe it. When I read it, I said, am I dreaming? And he said this thing in Abuja. Maybe he now knows that Yusuf Muhammad Abubakar is not the same person as Muhammad Buhari. At least his benefactor, Abakari, is no longer there. I don't know what gave him the courage. I don't know what gave him the conviction. I have no idea. But from what he said here, it is absolutely astonishing. It may not be an exaggeration to say that the current wave of insecurity in the land is one of the worst in recent history, according to the administrator of Imo State. I can't believe what I'm hearing. Because despite all their best efforts, they have gone back, they have listened to what we are saying, and they know that what we are saying is the truth. And he knows that is in our bad books. He knows that very well. Or maybe he is trying to retrace his steps. He went on to say, the Fulani administrator of Imo State, truth to tell, in the last 10 years, the country has never had it this bad in terms of security challenges or insecurity, but who is in charge? Fulani Janjaweed. And there is something that is quite touching about Nigeria that some of you must learn tonight, and learn to accept the truth. That they have an agenda. They have an agenda, and Britain is the one pushing and supporting them. The day you will wake up to realize it will be too late. Some of you prefer political correctness, to say things the right way. None of you is more British than I am. None of you love Britain more than I do. They are decent people. It's a very decent country. It is a very civilized country. And I love it. I had options of going to Sewell Aviation in Florida to go and study to be a pilot, but I said no, eventually, that I want to go to England to go and study. So I had a choice of either going to USA or to going to England. I decided to go to England. I said no to USA. For your information. So I am an Anglophile through and through. I believe that a Biafran has more in common with an average British person than we do with Fulani people. That is a fact of life. Britain believes in live and let live. They believe in equality. They believe in the supremacy of reason and logic. The same thing that we all believe in Biafra land. That is why, after listening to our gospel, our people can go back and say, all that nonsense that we are no longer Igbo, we are now coming out to exert our Igbo-ness. All the way from Benue to Edo to Bayelsa to everywhere. To say we are proud of who we are and our identity. Because we believe in conceding to reason and to logic. The same thing that Britain believes in. But there are horrible people in Britain, I must tell you the truth. There are people there are racists. Those working for them in foreign and commonwealth offices, they are racists. They believe that a white man is superior to a black man. So you have to make do with Nigeria that we created. Who are you to try to tamper with what we created? We are white people. We are better than you. You are monkeys swinging from tree branch to tree branch. You are nothing. We brought you the Bible. Who are you? We gave you anything that you have around you, that you have today, we gave it to you. As a result of colonialism. Because of that, you are nothing. Facebook has finally... They can no longer take it. You know, the truth we preach here is awesome. Facebook can no longer take it. They suppressed it all the way to 300 and something people. Even at that, they can no longer take it. They decided to shut the whole thing down altogether. They have decided to shut it down. Brad Chimese is saying, I don't trust his translation. Your translation is an abomination. You are slaughtering our language. You are destroying our language. You are destroying it. Some of you won't believe what has happened. Do you know that Facebook has cut me off? I have gone back to try to, to get back on. And believe it or not, I no longer exist on... on my own page, no longer. Facebook, they don't know who they play. They don't know who they are playing with. They don't know who we are, do they? Really? They don't know who we are. We are formidable, never say die attitude. We are IPOB. We did not become the #1 freedom fighting movement in the whole world for nothing. We are tenacious. Tenacious. There is an animal called ikri. I don't know if any of you know what ikri means. You hear about it, I don't know if when ikri holds you on the wrist, it never lets go, even if you cut off the head. It's called a manro. Because I grew up in the village. With some of us that grew up in the village, we know these things. That is who we are. We don't let go. I have come back on my page. Facebook kicked me out completely and decided not to suppress, to hide my page as well from me that owns it. So I cannot find it to go back. But I've gone back in. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. We're exposing them and they don't like it. They don't like it. Let me tell you what they have planned to do to you. They have tried Ruga. Ruga did not work. They have tried taking over our rivers and our streams. That did not work. They have tried highway, cattle highway, did not work. They have tried every garbage, it did not work. They are now trying another one. You know what they're trying now again? What they're saying is that farmers headers class, federal government moves to rediscover lost grazing routes. They want to go back to the time of Ottoman and Fodio to discover grazing routes. But we want to tell them in those days, your cattle never used to come to Biafra land. We didn't know who you were. Your cattle only started to come to Biafra land as a result of one Nigeria, after Lugard came, after Britain came with the experimentation. That is a fact of life. So today there is this headline: the federal government of Nigeria will be working with state governments to rediscover the lost grazing routes. What they want to do is to create what I call a Fulani terrorist superhighway. That's what I want to do. To create a Fulani terrorist superhighway. And the arch-terrorist now in the government is Garba Shehu. He disclosed this on Friday in a statement titled President Buhari, farmers will reap benefits of our policies. What they mean is that your life will be gone, your land will be gone. They have tried everything, it has failed. And I'm saying to Garba Shehu tonight, plan every highway you like. If you like, do it a tunnel or Fulani cattle tunnel on the ground. Rubbish in Biafra land, it will not work. I will not allow you to establish any Fulani colony in Biafra land. You will not have any grazing route in Biafra land. It will not happen. And I want to make Britain understand this as well. All you idiots hiding under one Nigeria to propagate Fulani expansionism, you have failed on arrival. You have failed. Over and over again, you have failed. All of you planning and hoping that you can use the cover of one Nigeria to spread Islam. Britain is hoping to spread Islam. Britain is telling British Muslims, oh, don't worry, we are giving you Nigeria. You can go to Nigeria and take over Nigeria. We are giving it to you. Leave our land for us. That is not going to work either. And I'm telling Katrina Land, if your mission in the zoo is to move this Fulani agenda forward so that you can witness the capture of Biafra land and the entire south by the Janjaweed North, then you are grossly mistaken, madam. You are mistaken. It's not going to work. What is this superhighway of Fulani superhighway where they can move their cattle easily? So that land will now belong to Fulani people permanently, in perpetuity. Is now Fulani land. That is one thing they want to do. All of you must be able to put on your thinking caps. There will be no movement of cattle. You claim you want to run a modern economy. Go and establish ranches in the north, in Sokoto, establish it in Kanu, in Katsina, in all those places. Don't bring it to the middle belt or to the south. The thing about people is that sometimes in the zoo, they allow their prejudice to cloud their sense of judgment. People must try to be very objective. People come up every day to give one excuse or the other as to why they must not obey what we are telling them. But we are telling you, if you fail to do something, Fulani will swallow you whole. They have come with every trick. They have come with this one again. Superhighway for Fulani. Fulani cattle superhighway. That they should go and rediscover all their lost routes. I have no idea where they got this. I have no inkling where they got this stupid idea from. But somebody should please go and tell them that Biafra land is being guarded by IPOB Volunteer Command. There will be no Fulani settlement in Biafra land. I am telling them peacefully so they can go now before it's too late. Fulani, I am telling you, take your Janjaweed settlements in our land and leave us alone, or else Britain will not save you. If you want to rent a house, go to the township and rent a house. This idea, can you believe? I don't know why this present Fulani cabal, this present regime, all they're interested in is to propagate what will benefit Fulani. Fulani headers, Fulani. I can't understand in this day and age. I can't understand. You go to every country in the world, you don't see cattle on the street. I don't know why they have this obsession. Is because they realize that people are so foolish. You will not see their game plan for what it is. You will be looking at their cattle and they're taking over your land and you will not know. You will not know. That is why we must as a matter of fact, do all we can to ensure that Fulani Janjaweed do not have any established root in our land. We are telling Garuba Shehu, you can take that your nonsense. You claim you have land. You claim our land is very tiny. Then why are you coming? You claim we are very, very tiny. Then why are you coming? Garuba Shehu is turning out to become or to be the spokesperson of the terrorists in this very government of Yusuf Muhammad Abubakar. That is his name. Somebody came on my page and said that, I thought he said is, people who don't listen, they don't reason, they're so foolish. I thought he said what's his name again? The idiot that replaced Buhari when he died, Jubril. I thought he said is Aminu Jubril. I said to him, but so didn't you listen to Radio Biafra when I told you that Jubril traveled to Cuba and upon the death of Abba Kyari, he ran away from there with COVID-19 and he's presumed dead. Did I not tell you that? You heard me say it already. The day he left, I told you. People, they play with us. They don't know the type of intelligence at our disposal. I told you the day that Jubril ran away. I told you that very statement he made from a hotel basement in Cuba was the last time he will ever speak, that he will not come back. We tracked him all the way to South Africa, thinking he will come to the zoo. The last evacuation flight from Cuba to South Africa, he was there. He caught COVID-19. Where he ran to, if he has run back to Sudan, we don't know. And I told you that Aisha Buhari's boyfriend has now taken over. His name is Yusuf Muhammad Abubakar. It's as simple as that. Even Boko Haram knows about him. Go and look at the clip. Go and look at the clip by Shekau. Shekau was mentioning his name, calling him Nigeria's president, and the white man was there translating. Nigeria's president is Yusuf Muhammad. His surname is Abubakar. Well, I know that very well. And people play with us at their own peril. They don't know who we are. I have said to them, rather than coming out on the streets and wasting your life on End SARS now, just to end the idiot who is an asshole, unmask him, remove the mask. Remove the mask on the face of the impostor. Remove the mask on the face of Aisha Buhari's boyfriend, and it will be game over. But they wouldn't do it because they have their slavish colonial mentality in their brain. Some of the idiots in the zoo want to maintain one Nigeria. Despite the fact that they are suffering, of course, that is why they are black. If they are not black, they won't be thinking that way. All of a sudden, again, we try to get back in. Facebook allowed us to get to 1.6, and of course, they brought us down again to 700. That is where they are. Are they going to stop us? No, that goes to show that what we are saying is working, that the whole world is listening. The whole world is listening. Garuba Shehu, you're wasting your time. This Fulani grazing highway you're planning is dead on arrival. It can never wash with us. It can wash with the fools, those who have succeeded in intimidating, not IPOB. It is not going to work. The same way that they keep on killing people and they keep on saying gas explosion. And I asked them, only in this year, 2020, you've had nearly 4 gas explosions that have killed over 6,000 people. More gas explosions in 1 year than you have had in the past 60 years. Nobody is thinking, and when it happens, they call it a gas explosion. Fulani are busy depleting your numbers, they're busy killing you, and you people cannot reason, you cannot think very well. Lagosians blame government as gas explosion kills 6. How come this gas explosion has not been killing people in other African countries? How come it has not been killing people for the past 60 years? All of a sudden, gas explosion, because Fulani terrorism is everywhere. And it is Fulani government who are busy, their politicians who are busy sponsoring it. And I want to compare, I want to go back and play what Garuba Shehu said to a journalist many years back. Those of you who are waiting for governments of the world, you want Boris Johnson to stand up and say, IPOB wrote to us and we are investigating what they said and we are taking them very seriously. And Biafra will come. You see how foolish they are? People who are so foolish. They have not been anywhere. They have not attended any meeting, no conferences, no nothing. They know nobody. They saw me when I went to Geneva and I went to go and see the UN in Geneva. They saw it with their two naked eyes. They were there when I went to EU. They were there when I went to Capitol Hill in America, lobbying and speaking to US senators. They were there. They don't know anybody. The idiots have not even spoken to their local councillor about Biafra. We are waiting to hear something from. Do you see how foolish they are? You have forgotten in your idiocy and stupidity that the zoo, Nigeria, is a sovereign nation built by a white country, built by Britain. That Britain has sovereignty over Nigeria. That Nigeria is considered a British property. You don't understand that because you're dumb and you're foolish. But here, we shall educate you. Here, we shall endeavor to bring enlightenment to your dead zoo black brain. I am going to play an interview for you so you can listen and listen very, very carefully. We are overrunning slightly, but I want to listen to this and then to compare that to what these people have been doing and to let them understand that we are unstoppable. Now listen very carefully, please. Listen.
Lead to further violence.
Listen.
Yvette McCullough, the newsmakers.
Listen.
Okay, to discuss this, I'm joined now by Garba Shehu. He's the spokesman for Muhammadu Buhari.
Post this interview, please, on my page.
Thank you very much for joining us, sir. Thousands of troops have been deployed to the southeast. Do you need them?
Thousands of troops deployed to the southeast, meaning Biafra land. A white journalist was asking Garba Shehu, people who don't know how far we have gone. This is once again a reminder as to how far we have gone. That news concerning IPOB makes wave all over the whole world. Because you're a black nigger, you're foolish, you're hopeless, you're a baboon, you're a monkey. Your brain cannot articulate it very well. But I'm playing it for you so you can listen, so you can hear, so you can understand how far we have gone. Okoko, Efulefu, because of the 652 million they gave to Loretta Onoche to distribute to some of you, all of you idiots, you have now discovered where your data is, where your phone is. You want to make your own video because Wazirike has made his own, the hotelier and the pig in the creek has made his own, so you want to make your own, so they can recognize you and give you some money as well. Idiots, listen to what Garba Shehu has to say about IPOB and the hypocrisy of the Fulani Janjaweed Brigade. Listen carefully, please. Listen.
The deployment of the troops to the southeast.
The deployment of the troops southeast.
Regular military exercise. There is no extraordinary plan to deploy troops. These exercises are being carried out in each of the 6 geopolitical zones of the.
Tell me where else in the world the military carry out exercises in their various regions. Tell me where. There is no country, the country is not at war. They are carrying out military exercises in their own country. The man was asking him, why are you moving troops to the southeast? You have not defeated Boko Haram yet. You have not defeated Fulani banditry and Janjaweedism. Why are you sending troops? He said they conduct exercises in their own country. Those of you living in America, I ask of you, how many times have you seen the National Guard or the U.S. Army conducting exercises in Oregon or in New York in peacetime? Have you ever seen such nonsense before? Only in the zoo, because a black man's brain is sawdust, basically. We cannot reason properly. That's why the man asked him, can you tell me why you're sending troops to the southeast? He's saying it's a part of regular exercise, but they came to my house to kill me. And once they failed, the pig in the creek and the hotelier, they were not happy. Listen carefully, please.
And so therefore there's nothing extraordinary about this one.
Nothing about it.
When people look at the tension that emerged last month on the 50th anniversary of the start of the Biafra War that killed more than 1 million people, when they look at the tension, when they see the people out on the streets and they see IPOB labeled a terrorist group and they see a crackdown on them, they match the two. They see the troop deployment with all of that and they see the government as fearing that this is going to flare up, therefore you want to put a lid on it.
Are you listening? Even the world knows that tagging IPOB a terrorist group is pure garbage. That was what the journalist was asking him. You have tagged it a terrorist group, and listen to the answer from this Fulani Janjaweed terrorist in Asorok, claiming he's the spokesperson for a dead Buhari, for idiots who do not reason very well. Listen, please, listen.
Do you accept and understand why people connect the two?
Well, people are entitled to their opinions. However, this military exercise was in our national budget. It was appropriated for more than a year ago. It was written into the national budget.
Liars.
When it was planned for, there was no anticipation that there would be this sort of disturbance by IPOM.
Are you listening? They did not call any other person's name. No group was mentioned. Only IPOB. This is from Garba Shehu on a live interview. I want you to understand that very well. This is the reason why Obama was saying, keep Nigeria one, keep Nigeria one. Because of the work indigenous people of Biafra are doing to disintegrate it. He cannot hide his contempt for us because we're a thorn in their flesh. Okoko, are you listening? Efulefu, are you listening? Let me continue.
Has rightfully been declared a terrorist organization by the Nigerian government. It is engaged in terror activities.
Garba Shehu is saying that we are engaged in terror activities. And if we are engaged in terror activities, how come there has not been one single conviction? You have our people in detention. You take us to court every blessed day to the point that judges are now telling you to stop wasting their time with these frivolous charges. Has anyone been convicted of terrorism before? The answer is no. If you arrest the number of Fulani terrorists, if you arrest the same number of Fulani terrorists as you do with IPOB, all your prisons will be full of convicted Fulani terrorists. He's saying that IPOB is a terrorist group that they engage in terrorist activities. If are you listening? Idiots who want to make video, are you listening? Are you that foolish that you cannot reason very well? Listen.
Illegal taxation, use of weapons against the armed forces of the police.
That we are using weapons against the police.
And attack on the national institutions. So therefore, they have been declared a terrorist organization because they have clearly indicated their territorial ambitions, that they want to capture not only the states that are politically, ethnically contiguous to them, but even... He
said politically and ethnically contiguous, which means that you only find Igbo people in the 5 eastern states. Do you see how devious and deceptive Fulani is? And it's Britain that is giving them this brain. Do you see, they keep repeating the same lie over and over and over. That they have gone outside. That was what I told you I will come to later on. They have gone outside the southeast to go and get other territories. That is what makes us a terrorist group. That's what he's saying. They have declared their territorial ambition. Because of that, they're a terrorist group, according to a Fulani man. Fulani doesn't know what terrorism means because they spend their life killing people and slaughtering their animals. So they don't know what terrorism is. Terrorism is if you declare your intention to be free from the zoo, you're a terrorist. But Lugard that came and put everybody together is not a terrorist. It's those who want to go back to the way they were before the white man came. These are the Fulani people that worship white people. The same thing that happened during colonialism. They bow before them and they gave them everything. They came to our land and we stood up and we said, we don't bow before any man. They said, oh, you're stubborn, we're going to teach you. We'll give power to the Fulani and we'll rule you through them. And that's exactly what they're doing till this very day. Let us continue, please.
States that are neighboring, you know, those states.
Listen.
Somebody had to act.
Somebody had to act.
So let's just put aside those who might have attacked the police and look more generally at some of the grievances of some of the people there. They feel, as ethnic Igbos, they feel discriminated against as people in their own state. They say there's no development. They say no money goes to the region. Yes. They say that President Buhari has appointed Muslims into senior positions at their expense. How do you address those grievances?
Yes.
Anyone who is knowledgeable of the facts on the ground will dismiss those claims as being mere propaganda.
And this very interview, they are showing clips, videos of IPOB, they are showing videos of my compound. This is a foreign media organization. And post this video, please, post it.
Ethnic and geographical entity.
Yes.
For instance, our constitution says there must be a federal minister in the cabinet from
Listen to the lies.
6 states of the federation. Each of the 5 states in that zone not only has a minister each, 4 of the 5 have senior cabinet ministers. In the case of the president, even his own state is represented in the cabinet by a junior minister. So all this talk about discrimination is politically motivated in order to black paint the government of President Muhammadu Buhari.
Let me give you the president's
Now
words
listen to the interview.
himself, and you would know these words. You're his spokesman. He said, naturally, the constituencies that gave me 97% of the vote cannot, in all honesty, be treated in the same way as constituencies that gave me 5%. I think this is a political reality.
Exactly.
His words, not mine. So, with that in mind, can you understand why these people feel as if they're being punished for not voting for Buhari?
I was present in the hall in the United States in Washington where he made this statement. He was extrapolating
a liar.
The context. He said, usually, normally, in the norm of politics, if they give you 95%, you expect to give them this kind of support. But he said, in my own case, I'm going to abide by the Constitution to ensure that nobody is left out. So please, the entire statement should be taken in its full context.
I will, if you want to listen to the whole of the interviews on my page, Facebook permitting is their platform. You can watch it there and make your comments and observations. This is to tell you how far we have gone way back then. Talk less of now. Our agitation is reverberating all over the whole world because we are unstoppable. And I did promise you that before the end of this year, I assure you, you will see us on CNN and all those places you're clamoring for, you will see us there. Because we know what to do to get us there, and we are doing it. All that we can. All that we can. That tells you, that's a foreign journalist. No other people is giving the zoo headache. It's IPOB. They can label it whatever they like. The Efulefus, the idiots, the pigs can come up and say whatever nonsense they like. But we are going to shock all of them. IPOB is everywhere. IPOB is not, and I repeat, it is not exclusively an Igbo linguistic affair. And I will tell you why I'm saying that, because everybody is Igbo. I say it IGBO. Everybody, if you're a Biafran, you're Igbo. You can have a different language. You can have a different dimension to your ethnicity. All of us are Igbo. I said every Biafran is Igbo. From Edo State all the way to Bakassi. You are Igbo, IGBO. Go and do your research very well. You will come to agree with me. You can frown your face all you like. You can talk your rubbish and plan with Al Mustafa all you like. You can be a Fulani Janjaweed slave in disguise, or answering an ex-freedom fighter. That is your business. But that is the truth. We are all this. We all have one ancestry, one Igbo ancestry, only one. All of us. If you are a Biafran, you are Igbo. I say it without mincing words. After all, if I go to Nsukka, I won't hear what they are saying. Nsukka, if I go to parts of Ebonyi State, I don't understand one word of what they say. The same way that I'm sure if I delve into Ibeku accent, some people may not understand me. That is the way it is. If somebody from Owerri or Ngwa speaks their typical local dialect, you cannot understand what they are saying. It doesn't mean we are different. It doesn't mean that. You can see Mary Effiot that went to, is it Mercy is her name? Ufot that went to Lagos to look for a house. And they said, no, she said, no, I'm not Igbo. I'm from Akwa Ibom. They said, no, you are Igbo. All of you are the same. You have Okonko and we have Okonko. You have Ekpe and we have Ekpe. You have everything that we have. You have Ekpo and we have Ekpo. So what is the problem? Of course, we know who we are. All those lies and intimidation of years gone by cannot stand us. I want to close this very evening by pointing out one statistic for the Efulefus Idiots who are hoping to grab a bit of money, because now is the time. If you want part of the 165 million, do your own video now, and after that you inbox it, you send it to Loreto Noche to say, can't you see what I'm saying about against nnamdi Kanu and IPOB? Give me my own share of the money. Idiots. Go and look for work in America. Now listen very carefully to what I have to say. The indigenous people of Biafra called on we submitted a question to the moderator to ask Pence and Ms. Harris during the vice presidential debate in America. And please, I want these very statistics to be published on my page. I want them to understand it. The news was carried by every major news agency around the world. Do you understand? Do you know the total number of audience that will see that very question that we put to the moderator to ask the contenders? 68.816931 people will see it, which is roughly 69 million people will see it. So Facebook, I'm telling you, you're wasting your time. I am publishing the analysis for you from Reuters, so you can see it. We don't play local. Don't judge us by local news and local zoo news. We are international. This is IPOB you're talking about. You can't stop us. Your suppression cannot do anything to us. The world is waiting to hear this very gospel. Anything we say, where talk is costly, people have regard for what we are doing. Go and look at it. 68, nearly 69 million people will see it. That tells you every major newspaper carried it in the Western world. For your information, that is how deep we are. That is how far we have gone. And that is why you cannot stop us from restoring the dignity and sovereignty of the Republic of Biafra. No idiot can. I'm telling you with every conviction in this, everything I have within me. No idiot can stop the coming of Biafra. It will come. It is not the gift of the Janjaweed to give. Only one entity can give us Biafra, and that is God Almighty in heaven. And on that note, we bring our gospel this evening to a very befitting conclusion. I thank all of you for listening. Sometimes you may worry and say, why do they speak in the manner they do? Is because we want you to change. It is out of love, compassion, and care. We want you to reason very properly. We want you to use your senses. We want you to engage your faculties, to know that Britain is messing with you. The zoo was created to serve them in perpetuity. It is a nursery of slaves and idiots who cannot reason. And they have given power to the Janjaweed Fulani to continue that very work that they cannot do themselves. And it is your responsibility and duty to bring this misery, suffering, pain, poverty, and deprivation to an end. And we can assure you we're not going to relent until Biafra is restored and beyond. That is why to us, Biafra is more than anything you can imagine. To us, it is our religion. And here on Radio Biafra is where we worship, because Elohim is our God. With great love in my heart from me, from here, good evening.